Hey everybody, so you're looking at the Huawei Mate 20 Pro on the left, iPhone XS Max in the middle, and the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 on the right. So in this video, I'm going to show you some photo and video samples so you have an idea of how these phones stack up against each other. So you'll notice that almost all the photos and videos are shot at night. The reason I did that is because I wanted to shoot in more challenging lighting situations, because to be honest, every freaking smartphone in 2018 can take really good photos if you have good lighting. If you're taking photos on a sunny day outside, it's going to turn out great whether you're using a $1,000 phone or a $200 phone. So I figure shooting photos at night, it's when you can tell the difference between a great camera from a good camera, or a solid camera from a bad camera. So as most of you guys already know, the Mate 20 Pro stands out a little bit because it has 3 cameras on the back, whereas the Samsung and Apple phones only have 2 cameras. So both of the setups on these two phones are very similar. You have a normal lens with a 2x telephoto lens. So Huawei one-ups that by giving you a third lens, which is a wide-angle lens. That's kind of taking a page out of LG's book. Previously on the Huawei P20 Pro, this one, the third camera was a monochrome sensor. So I'm glad Huawei made that switch, because I am a fan of wide-angle lens because you just get more into the frame. If I want to get the same framing on the iPhone or the Samsung Galaxy Note 9, I wouldn't be able to do this here. I would have to move the phone back a few feet. So another cool thing about the wide-angle lens, in addition to that wider field of vision, is that it allows me to get closer to a subject, almost like a macro shot. So you notice right now, I'm really close to Groot and the picture is still in focus. Let me get it right. So you see it's still in focus right now. With an iPhone XS Max, I cannot get this close. If I get all the way up to Groot's head, the picture is blurry because the lens's focal length just isn't as wide. So I have to pull out a little bit, probably like up to here, just to get Groot's head to focus. So you see it's quite a big difference between the two shots. So now you look at camera software. Huawei's camera software is actually very clunky. So you see there's a lot of different modes. Like just if you go to more, there's like a bunch of options here. A lot of them you kind of don't need, like watermark. Like who needs watermark? And document scan, you can already do document scan normally in the main photos if you have the master AI turned on. The iPhone XS Max's camera software, it's very plain. So you see there's still a mode that you can cycle through, but there's only like 5, and then there's not much you can do otherwise in terms of settings. In fact, it's kind of annoying because if you want to make changes to photo resolution, you have to go into settings. So if I want to shoot this video, right now it's recorded in 4K 30. I cannot change it to say 4K 60 or 1080p. I have to jump out of the phone, go into settings, find the camera app, and then do it in here. That is really freaking annoying. So overall, I would say the Galaxy Note 9 has the best camera software. I like that you can change the selfie lens just by swiping. You can cycle through the modes, and the modes are a little bit better organized than the Huawei Mate 20 Pro. And all the buttons are down right here, including the zoom button. On the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, you notice the zoom button is right here. So if I hold my phone with the left hand, I can't reach that one hand. I have to use the second hand. So now if you hold it with your right hand, then I guess it's a little bit easier to reach, but it's still a little awkward. It's just better if the button is down here. So in this very first set, you'll notice that the Huawei Mate 20 Pro's image just pops more. It probably looks more pleasing on social media, but the iPhone XS's image is actually a lot more accurate to real life. Now the Galaxy Note 9's image is kind of like a blend between the two. Colors pop a little bit more than the iPhone XS, but not quite as exaggerated as the Huawei Mate 20 Pro. Huawei's image processing is quite heavy-handed, so sometimes that's good. Like right here, you see that the photo just looks a little bit more crisp, a little bit more sharp, but sometimes it can make the photos look a little bit fake. But in general, when you're looking a Huawei photo on the phone or even on a computer shrunken down, looks good. It's only when you zoom in, like right here, you see that the over-processing kicks in and it doesn't look that pleasing. The iPhone XS's image looks a little bit more natural. So now this is another example. You look at the 3 images, the Huawei image just pops the most, the colors are most vibrant, and you can see the details on the ground. But then you zoom into the tree, and you look at the tree on the Huawei Mate 20 Pro's image, just looks a little bit fake. That doesn't even look like a real plant, it looks like a CGI tree. So now moving to a food shot at my hotel restaurant at night. So this is a pretty dim restaurant, so all 3 images turned out really nice. I shot this using portrait mode to focus on the risotto only, and so the background is a little bit of blur. So you look at the edge detection on the back, the iPhone XS has the most realistic image. the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, you look at the bottom on the left, it kind of edge detection's a little bit wonky right there. Now you look through the glass window and then the bokeh effect of the lights, the little depth of field blur, I think it looks a little bit better on the Huawei Mate 20 Pro than the other two phones. But you look at the actual result though, the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 image is a mess. That doesn't even look appetizing. So now we look at selfie pictures at night. And I think the Huawei Mate 20 Pro mostly wins. If you look at my face, it's easily the most clear of the two. The Samsung Galaxy Note 9, again, my face is a little bit blurry. But if you look at edge detection, the bokeh effect, the iPhone XS has the most realistic background blur. Both the Mate 20 Pro and the Note 9 kind of overexposes the light that's shining on the graffiti, whereas the iPhone XS, the blur looks natural. If you guys have watched my videos in the past, you know I hate taking selfies, especially sample videos, but I'm doing this for you guys. So you have the Mate 20 Pro footage on the left, iPhone XS in the middle, Samsung Galaxy Note 9 on the right. So whether it's just lighting and stabilization, I think the Huawei Mate 20 Pro wins. I mean, look at the Note 9, damn. We're now shooting 4K videos with the main camera, Huawei loses. This is Mate 20 Pro footage. Look at all the micro jitters as I walk. Now I'm gonna switch to the iPhone XS image and you'll see it's a lot smoother. So now here we have the iPhone XS footage. So you notice colors don't pop as much, but again, it's more natural. That's more realistic. That's how it looked like in real life. And I'm walking, it's a little bit smoother than on the Huawei Mate 20 Pro. Now on the Note 9 footage, colors pop very nicely, but when I walk, you'll see that the video wobbles slightly, but at least there's no micro jitters like on the Huawei Mate 20 Pro footage. I'm gonna put up a few more photo samples. I think in general you notice a theme that the Huawei images almost always pop the most, but it looks a little bit overprocessed. The Galaxy Note 9's image usually is the brightest, but it overexposes the lights. And then the iPhone XS image is the most realistic and true to real life and the most natural looking, but sometimes that means images are a little bit darker and you don't get to see as much details. But when you zoom in, usually the iPhone XS image wins because it's more natural. So in the day, as mentioned, all three cameras are badass. All three focuses really fast. I think the Mate 20 Pro with the wide angle lens just adds an extra dimension to all the photos. So the Huawei Mate 20 Pro having a third camera also helps with zooming because one of the lenses is a 40 megapixel camera. Huawei, the reason they made it 40 megapixel, it's not because they wanted to really blow up an image that big, but because they wanted to do pixel binning, which combines 4 pixels into one for more photo information. So that means the 40 megapixel camera is really used to shoot 10 megapixel photos. So you see right here, the 10 times zoom image looks a little bit more detailed and less blurry than on the iPhone XS and the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. Okay, enough talking for now. I'll just show you one more set of photos. This is shot in Paris and you be the judge. So that's it for now for this camera comparison. So if I were to give a verdict between these three phones, I think the Galaxy Note 9 just loses. Sorry Samsung, you can get out of here. So it comes down to between these two. I think the Mate 20 Pro has the highest ceiling and the most potential. So that means because of all the different shooting modes and the different focal lengths, different field of vision, you can capture maybe more stunning images from time to time and images that pop more on social media, which is what most people want. But I think the iPhone XS Max is the safer camera to use if you just want to point and shoot quickly without thinking and to ensure that you get the best possible or the most realistic image. And on top of that, I think the iPhone XS Max is still a better video recording machine of all three phones. Footage is the most stable, is the most smooth, and just colors are the most accurate. The Huawei Mate 20 Pro, a big improvement over the P20 Pro, which was pretty bad at shooting videos, but still some micro jitter. So this phone has a high ceiling, but this phone has the lowest floor. So that means if you're just taking photos really fast, like in a really bad environment, this will probably give you the most average, solid photos. This will probably give you the most solid set of photos, while this phone will give you some stunning photos and some photos that look a little bit fake and over processed. That's it for now. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna have a lot more content coming. I'm gonna go to Beijing soon to test out the Xiaomi Mi Mix 3, so I'm gonna have a video on that. And I have the OnePlus 6T coming to my place soon. And then after that, I'm gonna have the Honor Magic 2, all coming this month. So October is freaking crazy. Thanks for watching.